And so now we have our group here. What does our group consist of? Well, obviously it has students, right? Which is a list of students. Um, it also has a description. Uh, it also has maybe a color. It has an objective, which is part of probably the description. What else would you want for groups? Well, if you're managing groups, maybe you can allocate points to the groups. Just thinking out loud. Points. Some kind of rating system for how the group did. Um, Obviously, they're going to have the roles. And I guess it'll be a list of group roles, right? That they have to deal with, like they assigned, well, actually, it would probably be a map, right? So actually, we would probably have our roles, and you'd have a map, and right here you would have group role, and then over here you would have a student that fulfills that role. And what else? I think that's pretty much it. You have your description, you have this list of students, you have your roles. Thinking about groups, what do I expect groups to do? Actually, one of those things are you want to justify, like when you're creating the groups, how were they arranged? And I guess that's out on the routine, like a larger, uh, when you're talking about the larger part of how were the groups actually arranged, like a group rule, right? And that might be a string, and we're talking about maybe shoulder buddy. Uh, I said buddy. Shoulder buddy. What else do we have? Bell curve. Um, no more than 5. No less than 6. No less than 3, let's say. So actually, when you're thinking about how you're going to group, you do need an idea of the grouping rule. And it's something that we can kind of explore a little higher. It's on the routine level. And you might say by an assignment, you might say, okay, I'm going to get this assignment and I'm going to use RTI, and I don't want to have a group less than 3. So actually that would be the grouping rule for the routine that would affect the size of the group. And right here, the size of this list would be the size of the group. But as far as the group itself, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. All right. So actually, after kind of thinking about what happened last time, I said groups rules, but actually it's the rationale. What's the rationale behind the groups? So the first thing I'm thinking about is there's a strategy, and that's going to be an enum. and that might consist of proximity. It might consist of an assignment. All right. So kind of continuing on with this group rationale, kind of knowing that we're going to need something called group constraints, like a list of constraints and a description. And what necessarily is a group constraint? Well, there could be a size constraint, right? A size limit, no less than 3, no more than 5. And those would be constraints. Maybe depending on the strategy, there's a constraint on which assignments are used. So performance constraints. Again, when you keep that nice and ambiguous, and as a Java programmer, only thing we're looking here is it's probably like an interface that detects whether or not that the constraints are met. All right, and description of the rationale. So yeah, I think that's good.